What is up, guys? Greedy Knight here with a stream for Sunbreak. And then, cool. So what we'll be doing today is to just go and finish off some of the event quests that I've been putting off. So basically, before I finished the AR 200 ranks or hunts, all of these were filled, but I've been since clearing them. And yeah, so these two are the last two that I haven't done. I did a few of these earlier, but this one will be for the layered set, which was released last week, so it'll be a bit of farming, but it shouldn't be too much. And then the last one will be the recent one, which came out last Wednesday. And yeah, so for now, I'm just gonna kind of ignore Rise on Xbox for now because I want to talk about those separately. But I've kind of been thinking about starting a new playthrough, but I ended up deciding against it because I just don't want to spend another 1,000 hours that won't count towards this particular file. So I'm just gonna stick with that. But I will eventually cover like element file progression for base rise because if you follow my channel at all, or if you've seen my other videos at all, there's very little mention of element file. There's like one dedicated video which still has its own flaws, but in base rise they're fundamentally or like element file is actually a bit stronger because like the multipliers actually went up, and that makes it slightly more viable. So I'll have to test it. Gonna get back to you on that, but I already have like a progression thing for element file ready. I just need to actually like test out that it's not like BS. And one other thing, the reason why it's like super easy to test for, in my opinion, is because you have like 7 element files to build and then you call it a day. It's not even a question of what to get, it's just when you can get it. So Rathian and all those other trusty charge blades are relatively easy to grab. So I'm just gonna focus on the hunt here. I don't know where the host is. Hopefully he's there. That's unfortunate. Okay. So I'm kind of just focusing on the hunt here, but notice how fast my wirebugs are just straight up recharging. So I just keep swapping so I could stay topped up. I don't want to be carted into a Lunagaran. So yeah, Wind Mantle is just so good here. just because I always have a wire bug ready. Even if I just use it, the second one just automatically reloads by the time I need the second one. And then close the distance here with an overhead chop. Yeah, I haven't timed it out exactly, but ready stance is like a 5-second move, like 4 or 5-second move, so you could just sit there for a bit, comfortable knowing that you won't get hit. Okay. So whenever you sheath, just activate your wire bug to instantly activate your recharge. So with Ice Blight, Wind Mantle plus wire bug Whisper just makes it as fast as your regular speed. It's kind of weird, but that's just how it all stacks up in the end. Rathlos is here. Yeah, I'm gonna go for that oh, never mind. Yeah, okay. So we're going for that skull. Okay. Yeah, whenever using this particular set, just make sure that Intrepid Heart's active before you try to tank an attack. Because you can cart if you just think you're invincible and try to overcommit. But yeah. And that KO is good. I'm gonna try moving over here to see if the damage gets any better. It doesn't. Intrepid Heart helps you bulldoze through the roar, but not the second roar. Thank you, ready stance. Okay. That part break becomes kind of vital now because we have blood right on this set. So that just means that I could start healing on attacks. Going for the head again because I want to get a second KO. That paralysis is probably coming from our dogs, because I don't see anyone running paralysis on this team. And it's almost dead, just finish it off. Unfortunate. Okay. Are we capping it? Okay. That's fine. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm playing on my TV right now, and it's kind of hard to see, like, specifics. I'm just seeing enough blobs to be able to determine, oh, this guy's attacking and I need to defend. Like I literally can't read the map, but I could see like my character all fine and all the animations fine. And then yeah, this is part of the reason why I always bring a dog, because one, it has paralysis on it, so that's just free window. But also, I get to sharpen up for free while moving. And of course I named my dog in-game after my dog in real life. So turn around. Yep. So rapid morph is so good. I don't know why I ever thought it was okay to not run it, but basically let's get out of here, heal up. So he does the triple blast, that means you're safe to go to the side, and then go from there. Okay. So I farmed Chaotic Gormagala because I needed his stuff, so like regular Gore is just kind of just a pushover now. Yeah, I'm just gonna charge up enough of Intrepid Heart to have it active, and then just sharpen. And then I'm not gonna sheath my weapon because I have Wind Mantle active at max power. So, bit of latency right there. If you saw the Gormagala slide, that's why. Latency. Okay. I know Intrepid Heart is supposed to be used as a better version of like invincibility, but I typically just use it as earplugs or glorified earplugs online because it's hard to predict roars when you're seeing so much shenanigans go through. So let me see if I can. Okay, yeah. Trying to get as close as the head as the game will allow me, but Gormagal is right by the rock right now. See. Yeah, honestly, ready stance is such a huge part to spinning axe. I think a version of it should be required moving forward in every iteration of Charge Blade. So we're going for the head. Look at me when I'm slashing you. Nah, please don't. That part break is huge. Ooh. Easy. Hmm. So yeah, I'm just pausing right here because on my computer it looks like the screen is frozen, but I did adjust my volume, so I'm just gonna wait until like I see movement on my computer. So I'll most likely need 2 more runs, because unless I get a 3 materials from this next run, I'll have to do it twice. Nothing that I won't complain about, but did it stop for some reason? Let me check. So I'm gonna exit here first. Okay. So Phoenix, I'm using 5 levels of guard up and 5 levels of guard and 3 levels of guard up. I'm gonna try to reset the stream because it kind of froze on me, so I'm gonna stop right now real quick so I could. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that, but yeah. So let me just show you real quick. Now that my screen's unfrozen, so basically 5 levels of guard, and 3 levels of guard up. Yeah. So this is just to maximize your ability to react to guard attacks using ready stance, and then guard up just cuts down on any chip damage, or basically negates any chip damage. And then rapid morph and load shells is like the new addition to like the traditional spinning axe set, because I was always adamant of requiring it on super spam, but I just wanted to see how it felt on a full power spinning axe set, and it just feels great. Um, Now, bear in mind, this is with the caveat that you have Kushala Helm, or Risen Kushala Helm with Wind Mantle and Wirebug Whisperer on top of Ready Stance. So it's not going to be like, oh, slap Rapid Morph and Low Chills on a like base Rise spinning axe set. It's not going to work. It has to be with this level of progression in order to feel really good. So yeah. But that's a good question. I know some people or some spreadsheets have a recommended guard up list, but one, are you honestly gonna memorize this spreadsheet and then just swap out specifically a set number of guard decos just for that monster, or are you just gonna slap on 5 and call it a day? So that's just me being lazy, but it's also efficient in the long term once you start like logging like thousands of hunts. Cutting down on any time between hunts is always a plus in my opinion. So that's just my 2 cents. So one moment, I'm just gonna double check something. Since we have a few people, or we have just one person, it's fine to wait. I know it's not the best of etiquette, but I just want to check something. So all of my augmented armor will be like augmented with not necessarily the ideal stats, but good enough to just have a complete set of armor. So my augments are like, one of them has like 1 point of guard and 1 point of guard up. That lets me slot in 1 point of attack. So it just you just are aiming for those level 2 skills on your augments. It doesn't really matter what, as long as it feeds into damage or Charger Blade related skills. So yeah. Where is this guy? Yeah, I'm like looking at my TV. I could like, I'm just having trouble tracking down the monster on the map. Let's just hope he's down here, because I know enough of Lunagarn is down here. Okay, yeah. That's another option. Just follow your teammates, right? Oh. to reset here so I could activate Wind Mantle. So one thing I don't really see being talked about is whether Spinning Axe or Super Spam is like better in terms of like overall playstyle for Charge Blade. Like I like that both playstyles are just they do entirely different things, and you build them like relatively differently. Like Spinning Axe is basically it just follows the meta verbatim, whereas Super Spam ignores the meta and just pumps everything into element or raw attack. So, in my opinion, I just like the feel of Spinning Axe better because it just feels like you're doing better fundamentals than with Super Spam. Yeah, so for augments in general, um, like I don't really aim for like god augments because like one I don't have the patience to do that, but it always just has to be good enough to get the skills you need. So it takes a bit of like skill math, I guess. So like um everything that's level 2, they're basically treated as the same tier, and you just need to figure out how many of each you need and then just slot them in. I got yeah. That paralysis is good though, and we're just gonna continue buzzsawing Lunagaron's face. I hate it when people miss like or not when people but like when the wall bind gets missed, like oh I'm aiming for the wall and then it curves me to the left just enough to miss. I hate it when it happens online as well because that's just more online shenanigans to deal with. But yeah, and that defrost is gonna cause us to lose some amount of damage because like the armor lets us pump more damage per tick. One trick I don't really see with like Spinning Axe gameplay is using ready stance to instantly morph to sword and shield to reload. Now it's not really a big deal, but I just like to verbally tell you guys about it. So like with load shells and rapid morph, you just basically morph back and then load up once, and then you're back in sword mode or in axe mode. So it's like you minimize the amount of time spent in sword mode with load shells and rapid morph. So that's the main function. And by doing all that every like 2.5 minutes, you spend like less than 10 seconds in sword mode, and then you're back in axe mode for another 2.5 minutes. So it's pretty good. It's not like required like with quick sheath or other stuff like that where it makes or breaks whether you're gonna get carded, but it's just a really great quality of life inclusion with this particular set. And then the Lunagarn's on his last legs. Yeah, I made sure to land the attack there, because if I was mid-air, I would have been left open without a way to, like, recover anything. At least if I took damage or something from, like, a follow-up attack, I would have at least been able to wirefall out of it. Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, I'm not even, like, with these endgame quests, I'm not even looking at the timer anymore because the HP pulls are so absurd that it really doesn't matter how fast you do it. The only time it does matter is if you're time attacking, and we're not doing that here. We're just hunting for fun, basically. But yeah, so yeah, I think for Spinning Axe, Violet Mitsutsune, it may not do the most damage, but it's still the most set friendly charge blade in the game, because you could slap on any 3 points or level 2 decos onto like the weapon itself and just get max power. Except for like guard up, of course, but like for normal level 2 skills that have a level 4 slot equivalent, like the ability to just get a free skill on your weapon is great. I would say that you can use like other weapons, but that's not really realistic, because there's like the Coalition's build for Chaotic Gormagala, but it's like it's pretty inconsistent unless you have like max power Bloodlust, which isn't really possible right now. And then the other weapons, they're either just missing just one slot to have a full power set. So it just right now, Violet Mitsutsune is the quote unquote best Spinning Axe Charge Blade in the game. Not for its damage, but like just the ability to just ignore the typical limitations of a charge blade, like with Lucian Nargacuga, or like let's say Gazmagorm. It would be a great weapon on paper, but it has all blue sharpness, so that's a no. And then moving on to like, let's say you wanted to use an element build, you have white sharpness, and you do have 2 level 1 slots, which helps with element, but again, you're short of like the 3 level 2 slots that Violet Mitsutsune has. So for so is Pure Axe explosive? Like the Violet, it's the impact. It is impact, so it will scale with your raw attack. So it's not like element file. So that's a good thing in my opinion, because it for starters, its elements isn't too high. But yeah, like it is impact. Whether it's explosive, I don't really know how to like respond to that, I guess. But if you mean that explosive as an impact, then yes, it is an impact. And then let's check real quick if we got the materials for this one, so we could just be done with farming. Unfortunately, we are shy just one, so I'm just gonna have to farm one more. Yeah, one problem with event quests, in my opinion, or what I noticed as I was like going back to finish everything, there is technically an expiration date for event quests. It just really depends on when you tackle them. But basically, you'll have sessions where you straight up can't get a party to queue up with unless you have like IRL or like friends or a dedicated group. But if you're like doing like quests with randos, basically the newest one will always be available, whereas the older ones will be like kind of um, barren. So I see our bow users at the top of the hill, so we're gonna go bully Gormagala with him. Yeah. The ability to see other players' icons is honestly really helpful here because I can't read the map for a squat. So I'm just playing original Monster Hunter as intended and just knowing where the monster would be and following where my teammates are. And then I did test this a bit, but with the Wind Mantle again, uh, with with the sped up boost, it really does not matter whether you grab any additional wire bugs. You always just get them or you get them back as fast as you use them. Yeah, I could have tried for yeah, whenever you get half health, just don't be like me and overcommit. I do that sometimes. It's it is a bad habit, but I try to avoid it when I can. So yeah, see there? I had yellow charge because ready stance does collect shield charge. Where'd they take? Okay, yeah. So I honestly don't like playing alone just because like I spent like my entire Monster Hunter like playtime with a squad. So it's just a personal preference. I did make sure to like actually learn how to play solo. I just honestly don't like it. I can, but I don't like it. And then yeah. Like the only reason why I would play solo is if I was trying to go for like a actual solo play run, but I or I enjoy playing multiple or in groups too much. Like with the many flaws, that's kind of what makes it feel like more Monster Hunter. Cause like it emulates like how they do it in like the anime and mangas. Like things can go wrong and things do go wrong. Whereas if I'm playing by myself with the skill level I'm at, like more often than not, things just go exactly as planned without any like hiccups, which is kind of boring because I get to the end and I'm like, what do I do now? Keep farming? For what? So it's like, to some degree, it inflates the amount of playtime, but in a good way. It's similar to how like grinding, like how Rise made grinding easier. It made the game feel shorter just because of that. So I don't know. I'm not any authority on this, but that's just my 2 cents on solo versus multiplayer. Also, one other thing I like seeing is another Charge Blade user, and then I'm like, let's tackle this together, brother. So yeah, I always pop the powders whenever my teammates are getting low because that's just what heroes do. So I'm looking for that wire bug that leads straight to the castle. Here we go. Oh, that's cool. I never knew that. So apparently you could wake up slap a monster and then immediately ready stance. That's a fun thing to know. Load up files here, so when I do need them eventually, I could just reload immediately. Yeah, this full screen form does help because I was able to see Lunagaran in the like just below the top. So yeah. Thank you for the powder. Thank you for the powder. Yeah, I basically have the timings for shield charge like mastered or memorized. So I was like, I knew by the time I got over to Lunagaran I would need to reset. Fair is fair. I was like, oh, he's gonna charge straight at me while I'm not looking, and then he proceeds to do an L. I'm like, we gotta take it. Yeah, whenever he does that ice cloud, I kind of just try to avoid it because I don't want to be dealing with ice blight. One pro tip I could give for newcomers: always stay by the legs. That's what I did when I first started Monster Hunter, and that got me through G rank for most of the online hunts. Now, is it optimal? No. Is it safe? Yes. Yeah, since I'm to the side, I could just keep slashing and bashing without having to interact with Lunagarn's shenanigans. Yeah, Ready Stance has been bonking a lot of monsters I've been hunting lately. So it's like, okay, it's asleep, just let them wake it up. So if someone gets mad that I ruined their wake up slap. Like, I haven't really tested whether or not Charge Blade could still do like the yeet chop, but for sure it works without brace, but I'm not sure if it has the same properties as hammer where it ignores it. So that might be something I might try to do. But I don't want to be doing that in random groups because I don't want to be disturbing innocent people with my shenanigans. Oh yes, we got it before it ran away. Let's go. But yeah, the only move that does send people flying is the upward X or the upward chop. That it's the second hit of X basically. That's the only one that will launch people. Everything else will like trip and stuff. Wait, we could test it right here for science. So if it... Am I hitting them? Okay, yeah, no. It's protected by... it's protected by brace. But yeah, honestly, Capcom should have Flinch Freeze third level. Just straight up apply knockback immunity to all attacks, or just make it a default mechanic. Because I'm tired of like being blasted by insert gun or gun lance weapon, and then I just lose out on DPS or get carded for it, especially in these afflicted and title update 3 quests. So that's just my 2 cents. And then that should be 3 now. So I think we got it here. And yeah. I have too many materials. And we got it. Let's just slap it on real quick. Just to show off all the hard work that was just spent for like the last 30 or 40 minutes. I'm not sure if I like green. I'll change the pigment. Yeah, it's pretty kicking. But not as kicking as this one. But yeah. And then one last quest and then I'll end the stream there. So this is the latest one. So for this I can do super spam if I really wanted to, but I'd have to swap mid-hunt. Violet Mitsutsume is weak to water, I believe, or was it ice? Let's check. Yeah, this is kind of just what I do whenever I see a new quest. I'm like, oh, how can I counter it? And all that good stuff. So I already know that Lucient Nargacuga is weak to ice because I have like all of his materials. Okay, they both share some degree of weakness to ice. So that eliminates most of the sets that I wanted to use. So like this one, yeah, we can use super spam. Since I use spinning axe for most of the stream, I'm gonna show off some super spam gameplay. So this is the ice set in my guide. Excuse me. I've since removed like the Shigaru pieces or like the Magala pieces, because it was like I just want to have a set that does really good damage and then also has survivability. All the meta, like the strictly meta sets, have like 0 regard for your life amount. So if you just take a straight hit, you cart. And I want to avoid that in these increasingly harder hunts. I want to maximize damage and survivability. That's the key for me. If I'm gonna have to use a set that maximizes damage at the cost of survivability, I'm just gonna go one step down below that. So that's my stance on whether you should stick with meta. And on the bright side, for this quest, I was gonna farm Violet Mitsutsume anyway, so it's kind of good to have one served to me on a silver platter. Just stay down until it stops spinning. I fought this thing like one title update ago and I forgot all of its moves. But it's okay. We learn, adapt, and overcome. Apparently not. Run! Okay. Yeah, one thing you do learn eventually is that everything has a limited range regardless of what move it does. Or what move it is. Like that laser beam is just like half of the arena. Oh man. Yeah, I popped the powder because I saw the first player was also low on health. I forgot this was a Berserk set. That Coalition's pop was just perfect. I'll take the red if no one's taking it. Bang. Okay. Yeah, I like this arena just because it's so easy to fight monsters. So yeah, I forgot that I have Berserk on these pieces, so I'm just gonna straight up avoid swapping skills and just stick with counter peak gameplay. Read like a book. So I honestly think that for super spam gameplay, it's just correct to stick with counter peak. What that means is that you can use Axe Hopper, but to make full use of your kit, you would just stick with default counter peak gameplay. Axe Hopper is just training wheels basically. Because you use Morphing Advance to line up your supers anyways, and then you just pop your supers grounded instead of not grounded. So yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I mentioned this before. I'm not sure if it was on stream, but I've never played World. I kept up with all the meta trends and all that thanks to like Arex and Squad, but I never actually like played World. I was offered to play it for my roommate, but I was like, the second you give me that controller, I'll be gone for the next year. So I haven't played World, not because I don't like it, it's just that I don't have a console for it. Does that mean I'll never play World? No, but right now I won't play World until I get like a new laptop at best. So I'm gonna heal up so I don't card again. I really hate carding twice, cause if we fail the quest, I typically just blame myself there. Stay down, stay down. Okay. But yeah, for Lucian, Nargacuga, or for Nargacuga in general, just aim for the wings regardless of which one you're hunting. Because the wings have a nasty multiplier of like 40 or something, I don't know the exact number. But it's really high for a attack that, or a part that has really high cutting resistance. Okay, I was expecting to get hit there, but I was like, I'm not gonna cart from it. Okay, yeah. And then I'm just gonna hold the guard button and then constantly zoom in so I stay safe. But notice how I'm basically like taking 0 chip damage thanks to guard up 3. It's like primarily from other stuff. I fought so many Nargacugas that I could just read certain moves. I don't know. So when I first started, I just went down the line of all the weapons, and then I just finally landed on Charge Blade. What initially got me into Monster Hunter was a video from like Gaijin Hunter, and then I was like, I want to try this game out, and then that was back in 4U, so it was right when Charge Blade became a thing. So ironically, I was here since the beginning of Charge Blade. Minus base 4. Okay, since he's loading up on poison here, let's finish him off. Okay. But yeah, so back in 4U, I wanted to be like a longsword user because I was that guy. But it felt so bad playing longsword, so I just kept hopping from weapon to weapon. I tried all the Blade Master weapons. I didn't touch a single bowgun weapon because I wasn't interested in playing a first-person shooter. But yeah, I tried all the weapons when I started in 4U. And then I tried them again in GU and also in Rise. In GU, I picked up Dual Blades as my secondary because it just felt so similar to Charge Blade. You had the Absolute Evade. You had a bunch of bobbing and weaving combos. It translated a lot to how I played, and it allowed me to like deal with nasty Charge Blade matchups like Rajang at that time. So yeah. Ooh, nice. Free mantle. Let's go. Okay. So, yeah. But yeah, when I was first playing Charge Blade as my first weapon, I went on like the forums and it said, "Oh, don't play Charge Blade, it's too hard," or whatever. I'm like, I like it, so I'll just keep playing. And then one thing I did specifically was I played through story mode first so that I could learn all the basics so I wouldn't like be a hindrance online. And then once I got a good grasp of how to play, I dipped into online. I walked into low rank with like a fully kitted out Diablo set, and I was just decimating everything until like HR like 5 or something. So it was pretty fun. But yeah. And I don't really show this too often, but I'm getting up on... Yeah, I'm getting more... What is it? Yeah. So I'm getting close to like... Or not close, but like I'm getting closer to 3,000 just because I'm sticking with Charge Blade. Like all of my other weapons are like, oh, 300, that's my max. That's because I said before Rise started I wanna hopefully hit 5,000 hunts one day. So that's just me. Isn't necessary that I have to do it. No, it's just a personal goal I set for myself, and I wanna be able to showcase. Yeah, I have 10,000 hunts in Charge Blade. I'm an authority. I know what I'm doing or talking about. So yeah. And then one last thing, I've been trying to figure out like how would you progress to Rise using just element file. So this is my rough draft of it. So I have all the charge blades here, but basically the first one you gain access to is Rathian, and then you would get like I think the fish charge blade. I have to double check these, but the fish charge blade and the captain charge blade both become available around the same time, and then you also get Barioth shortly after. Where is it? There you are. Oh no. Yeah, Barioth. Um, for an ice charge blade, it wasn't too bad. It's just that it was the only one in the game, so you didn't really have an option if you wanted to use element file. I thought about doing a challenge run. Um, I might, but it would be like in this type of long form, like long live stream. It wouldn't be like, oh, here's me spending 30 hours on Monster Hunter doing a challenge run, and then I edit script and all that good stuff. No, it would have to be like I'll stream it like this basically if I were to do it. I'm thinking about it since a lot of PlayStation and Xbox players are now getting their hands on the game. So I honestly think it would be a beneficial idea to showcase, oh, this is how you go through the game with element file charge blade if you were interested in that. But I'll sleep on it. I'll let you guys know by Friday next week. But yeah, because I have the next 2 days off on Monday and Sunday, so I'll be able to like theory craft a way to get through the game. But yeah, and then one last thing, yeah, the other. So you basically build seven, yeah, 8 charge blades in total. So it'd be Rathian. Then, when you get to it, Raknakadaki for fire, and then for water you just stick with the fish charge blade, and then for thunder you would go from K Captain to where is it, Narwa. You can technically go to Zinogre if you wanted to, but both of these just have a superior thunder element, so you just stick with them. And then for ice it's just the mandatory Barioth, and then for dragon you would most probably just stick with the dragon charge blade, of course. Its base ramp up skill is Elemembane, so you would just do more damage with that against element weak matchups. But you always have the option of investing into Valstrax for the extra 4 points of damage. But yeah, so it'd be like roughly like 8 charge blades. And that's your progression. And then the only thing you would worry about during your actual run for element file only, you would basically just be building the 5 element. Like you'd be building blaze, stream, thunder, frost, and dragon, and then the rest will just be like guard up, rapid morph load shells, and then you're done. So let me see if I could pull that up real quick, because I know I saved a few photos on that. So yeah, so this would be my recommended like end game build for base rise. So it'd just be like you use Almadra and Helm, Basil arms and legs, and then whatever Storm Soul or Blessing pieces you needed for a particular set. So notice you have 5 fire attack, 5 guard, 3 guard up, rapid morph, and load shells. The agitator is from like the charm, but you just need anything with 3 level 1 slots at the minimum, and you could use anything better. So this would be my tentative template set. And yeah, so if you notice, it's basically just a copy and paste of the current like meta set. Just subtract Elemembane, Element Exploit, and what was it? Burst. So that would be it. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. You guys asked a lot of questions, and hopefully you found some of this helpful. And that'll be all for me. Greedy Knight, signing out.